Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Codnor Parish Council Meeting for March. We're receiving apologies for absence.
Councillors Gary Warney, Davy Moon, Chris Neal, and
Chair, could I just say, Chair, I'm recording, Chair.
Declaration of members' interests. Oh, there's stuff Robinson as well, sorry. So, item number 2, we have declaration of members' interests. Members must ensure that they complete declarations of interest sheet prior to the start of the meeting in respect of any disclosed or pecuniary interests. I don't believe there is any on.
Yeah, no,
others. Yep. Okay. And B, where a member indicates that there is show interest but wishes to make representations. On the agendas. Okay, thank you. Dispensations. I don't believe there are any.
None, Chairman.
Public speaking, 50 minutes for members. So members of the public have had only one item come in, and I believe that's Councillor Pearce.
Yep. Okay. Thank you very much, Chair. I want to talk about the issue that we discussed 2 meetings ago, which is the Peveril-owned land transfer. Just to recap, at that meeting I spoke about concerns at the way in which the negotiations for the proposed transfer of land from Peveril Homes to Codnor Parish Council has been handled. Prior to that meeting, I emailed all councillors and the clerk detailing my concerns and raising various questions in the hope of getting some clear answers or at least some clarification. Sadly, that wasn't the case. I've therefore felt prompted to dig a little deeper to try to get to what has actually been going on. When this was first discussed some time ago, we were talking about the transfer of one plot of land from Peveril to Codnor Parish Council. Now, this isn't something that I would usually have supported, but I know that I'm living close to that land. I know it's used extensively by Codnor Boys Football Club, and I didn't want to see that not being used by them and going to some other thing. So, in order to ensure that land can be continued for use by that sporting institution, I give it my support. However, after reading an exchange of emails between Codnor Parish Council leader and the clerk and Peveril, it would appear that we are in fact talking about 2 plots of land. One to be transferred to Codnor Parish Council with a sum of 60k, and the other to Codnor Sports Charitable Trust together with a sum of 40k. I requested from the clerk a drawing of the plot or plots of land, and this is what I received. It's there if anybody would like to have a look at it. It actually shows one plot of land. So I queried this with the clerk. Why it only showed one plot, but he couldn't give me an answer at the time, although he did say he would come back to me. And indeed, he later confirmed that there are actually 2 plots. I asked for a drawing to show the 2 plots. That wasn't available. I'm given to believe that the leader has actually got a drawing that shows the 2 plots, and I believe that he was bringing it to the meeting tonight, so perhaps we'll get to see that in due course. Now, throughout the negotiations with Peveril, Codnor Parish Council has been represented by the leader and the clerk. But the leader is also a trustee of Codnor Sports Charitable Trust. Indeed, he signs off their accounts. So there's an immediate conflict of interest there. But if that isn't bad enough, there's a further potential conflict of interest. The 100k, the 60k and the 40k, the 100k is apparently Section 106 money, which is controlled by Amber Valley. And the leader is also the leader of Amber Valley and a member of the planning committee. Not only that, but in one email dated the 12th of November from Peveril to the leader and the clerk, Peveril says that they will look at an affordable housing scheme on the community building plot and get a sketch done on this scheme. And quite what that has got to do with this issue, I don't know. Perhaps we'll get some sort of answer. But indeed, I think it classifies as a conflict of interest. It's perhaps worth mentioning at this point that later on in the agenda, right at the end actually, it talks about changing the minutes of a meeting that took place in October to confirm that the leader and the clerk would represent Codnor Parish Council at those discussions and negotiations with Peveril. Now, I actually voted in favour of that because I thought that we were just talking about Codnor Parish Council. Had I known that we were going to have Codnor Sports Charitable Trust involved and that there were other issues as well, I would not have voted in favour. I probably would have said, I don't think it should be the leader, it should be somebody else who does not have an interest elsewhere. But that's not happened. So, I'm looking for answers to the following questions. What plots of land are exactly being referred to in this project? Because we've got one here, but apparently there's another. Now, is it one that includes the other? Or is it a separate, or rather two separate plots? Which plot of land is earmarked for affordable housing? Why did the leader not recuse himself from negotiations when it must have been blatantly obvious to him there was a clear conflict of interests? How was the 60k and 40k split arrived at? What homework was done to ascertain the maintenance costs and financial risks to Codnor Parish Council and indeed to Codnor Sports Charitable Trust? It's as though the 100k was treated like monopoly money, just the 60k there, 40k there. This should have been looked at in far more detail to ascertain what the costs of maintenance were so that an informed decision could have been made. Indeed, why weren't the Finance Committee involved in this process? They should have been. This should have gone to them. And they should have been looking at it. I mean, it's interesting that we've got a Finance Committee, no disrespect to the members of that Finance Committee, but I understand they haven't actually met this year. We're talking about a sum of money, £100,000. It isn't, it's big money, and it should have been treated with proper consideration as to how it is going to be spent, how it's going, what the split should be, if any. Indeed, why wasn't the land proposed to be transferred to Codnor Parish Council, and it could have then been leased to Codnor Sports Charitable Trust? That would have been an obvious solution. And finally, why weren't there any minutes of the meetings taken? I've asked for minutes of meetings. There were no minutes taken of the meetings that took place between Peveril and the Codnor Parish Council. So they're the questions, so I'll go back to number one. What plots of land are exactly being referred to?
Okay. Right. The two bits of land, from what I understand it, are the light blue, I would call that, because I'm not very good on naming colours, and blue. So they're the two bits of land. Also, the negotiations with Peveril, it's Peveril who are in charge of the land. They can divvy it up how they want, and they offered us part of the land, which is for the 60k. And these questions have been asked previously as well. From what I understand, the affordable housing is actually community lands, not affordable housing. I believe it was for what was to be the Wayne Groves community centre that was promised in phase 1, not phase 2. This is phase 2 of the thing. And again, 106 money isn't under the control of Amber Valley, though it would fall under the planning regulations that Amber Valley have. So that's where Amber Valley will come in, where they're giving planning permission for the land. The 106 notice is attached to is part of the planning permission. The 106 money would be given to Codnor Parish Council, like the 106 money was given to Codnor Parish Council for phase 1 when the land for the play area was transferred to Codnor Parish Council. And we have to maintain that for 20 years. The money is to cover for supposedly 20 years of use. So that's what the 106 money is and what it's in is.
Chair, with respect, so you're telling me that Peveril will determine how the land's going to be divvied up?
Yes,
right?
it's their land.
And the money?
And the money,
They decide that as well?
yes, yeah. It's their money, their land. It's part of the planning permission under the 106 notice. So,
but these discussions initially took place, it was Codnor Parish Council and
yes.
Peveril. And suddenly, Codnor Sports Charitable Trust entered the equation.
Again, I can't, that's
That's
up
in
to-
respect.
Chair,
I've got to ask the leader.
please, Chair, let me answer this because it's getting ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous at all, it's important.
Look, listen, because I'm going to tell you exactly what I told you before, right? All the land is owned by Peveril Homes, right? Every bit of it. The first piece of land, which included Briley Road play area, was offered to the Codnor Parish Council after discussion with myself and the clerk. All signed and sealed, all done. The second piece of land was offered to Codnor Parish Council under the same arrangement. Nothing different, exactly the same. They then did another part of it, while in the third piece of land, they have offered that to Codnor Sports Charitable Trust, as they have looked after that piece of land since day one. And so what they said is, they decided what soil and everything to put down, what grass seed to put down, that's all agreed, and Codnor Sports Charitable Trust, with their operative, actually done that, and they've looked after that ever since. So that's why that was offered to the Sports Trust. And the fourth piece of land, which included an approved plan application for a new English community building and temporary car park, as far as I'm concerned, it is nowhere at the moment. That's up to Peveril. They will decide what to do with that. End of story. As far as the 106 agreement goes, the 106 agreement did not put any money on that piece of land at all. What Peveril are looking for is for somebody to manage those pieces of land. Hence, that's why they came to Codnor Parish Council. Later on, it became to the Sports Trust with the other piece of land. At the meeting, out of courtesy, I explained to members that those were the two pieces of land and those were the two offers from Peveril, just so that members were aware. Got nothing to do with negotiating. My point at that meeting, that we have with Codnor Parish Council, Peveril said to us after, there's a piece of land that we're now going to offer to the trust as well. So that was the total arrangement of what went on. End of story.
You did negotiate an increase though, didn't you, Chris?
Sorry?
You did
Yes,
negotiate an increase.
originally it was 80,000 for the whole area, and I said that's not enough with the previous piece of land, which was a lot bigger than this, was 80,000. That was going to be given to Ripley Town Council, but the play area stood empty for 6 months, and they then came to Codnor Parish Council and said, we felt we can't get an agreement with Ripley Town Council, but Codnor Parish Council take it on because it's in your area. So on that basis, yes, we went back to Peveril and said, we don't think 80 is enough, and they came back for 100 for the whole area. But they then decided the split of the land and the split of the money. End of story.
So you don't believe that there was any conflict of interest there?
None whatsoever.
Really? The fact that you were discussing with them in a meeting that involved this particular issue, a housing
Don't
development?
discuss the housing at all.
That's not what the email says.
Where does it say hasn't been discussed?
Grace Andrew, thank you for your time yesterday. As discussed, we will proceed on the basis of the transfer of the public open space to Codnor Parish Council with a contribution of £60,000, which will include the ongoing monitoring of the BNG scheme on the development. We will separately transfer a football pitch and a community sum of £40,000. We will look at an affordable housing scheme on the community building plot and get a sketch done on this land. Can you advise of lawyers for both councils?
Yeah. So all we've done is advise them, Parish Council advise them of their lawyers and the trust have advised them of their lawyers. If everyone wants to put forward a scheme for that other piece of, that is up to them. I explained to you that piece of land is still there. They're, as far as I'm aware, they've done nothing. Yes, it was mentioned that they may want to do a scheme. And I said, at the end of the day, that's up to you. But there's nothing agreed. They would have to put a plan application into our development at a later date.
So going back to this,
No, we're moving on.
That's it.
No,
Well, I said, every question that you asked there.
No, with respect, the £100,000, we've got a public open space, public open space committee, and some of those members are actually on the finance committee as well. Why wasn't a proper calculation done as to what the costs were for actually looking after that land? Because it's just been accepted. It's, you know, we're talking about a huge amount of money here, but it can easily get used because we don't know what the costs are of maintaining it. Nobody's gone into it. It's not, there's no due diligence. It's just accept a chunk of money. I mean, there's been concerns expressed previously about the fact that the money that's been awarded previously is running down rapidly. We've got concerns that have been mentioned to me.
I'm sorry, we're moving on now. We've got items on the agenda. It was,
Okay, then I've not got answers.
Yeah,
Well, I may have
Every answer you.
and again, it was
Then we'll need to look at other options.
moving on to the police this evening. Good evening, how are
Good
you?
evening, thank you. Not a lot much new to report since last time, really. Was just still keeping an eye on the parking situation. I know that's something that's come up. But obviously, when we're there, especially in the marked vehicle, it's a completely different story. But as soon as we're gone, they start just messing about. But we can put tickets on, like I've said, and we have been doing that. Only other thing really, there's been a few shoplifting at Tesco and the big new farm foods, as is to be expected. It's like same everywhere, but it's not so much S&T that deal with that kind of thing. It's more of a section police issue. But yeah, so far you're doing quite well in Codnor. Unless there's anything else that you want to make us aware of while we're here.
I know there's been an issue with a caravan attached to a car that's parked on a hill.
Right.
I know it's legal, but it's I know it's been raised in the community.
Right, okay.
I think it's close to a junction. It's on Field Street.
It's on Field Street.
Field Street.
Between 4 and 18 Field Street,
Okay.
it's outside there. Derbyshire County Council Highways have looked at it and said it's a legally parked, if you like, and legally licensed car and MOT and everything.
Mm.
And unless it's actually causing an obstruction, then there's nothing they can do.
No, unfortunately not.
So it's just to make you aware.
Yeah, it's fine. But we've come in a vehicle tonight, so we can quickly go and have a look. Does it not move? Is it just stationary?
It's just been stationary since Christmas.
Right.
I think the issue is more the road disintegrating next to it. That's the whole road, isn't it? The issue is really the road disintegrating next to it, which has nothing to do with you. It's parked perfectly legally,
Yeah.
but there's a drain next to it which is sinking into the ground, as are most of the drains on that section of road. It's just a Derbyshire County Council bit of road that isn't much road.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
That's all right.
Okay, and County Council member. Good evening.
Evening, everyone. Some quick updates. Midday contacted myself on behalf of Codnor Supports Club, highlighting funding for additional funding for the defibrillator. Arranged for £500 of grant funding to be provided to the Codnor Supports Club in order to actually maintain and keep that up and I know they have actually acquired some funding, and they've already had the defib actually refurbished, I believe. But I've actually provided additional funds to help out with its future maintenance if required. White Street's been problematic for some time. Within the last month, Highways team have gone out, pretty much resolved all the potholes and any issues there. But that doesn't necessarily mean there's not more potholes going to happen, unfortunately. Last Saturday, we had a team out on Nottingham Road repatching a lot of the actual section from Autocar up to here. I have noticed actually at the crossroads here that's down once again come about. So I'll make a point of raising that this evening.
Excuse me, Darren. Could you speak up? Mrs. Smith can't hear you. She can't hear you.
She can't hear me, sorry. Yeah. Okay, where did so White Street, all be relayed pretty much. I have put in a request. I have put a request in for the entire road to be done, possibly next year. It's going to be evaluated. But the main thing is that the major potholes that were there are no longer there, for now anyway. Nottingham Road, they've been done some patching work there, but at the top, yeah, that looked at. Hillcrest Drive, I've raised a complaint with regards to the actual fencing on the corner where next to the HMO is now being proposed. Derbyshire are actually looking into it and will be putting measures in place to get that removed because it shouldn't be there. It's actually an obstruction, and because of the height of it, there's been a few near misses already on the corner, so that is being addressed. Holborn View, unfortunately the housing development is down off the bottom of one road. The heavy goods vehicles coming down that road basically led to the road itself being collapsed. I've asked them, the highways, if they did a pre-inspection of the road to establish whether or not the issue was prevalent beforehand. I don't think it was, because I was canvassing, albeit 2 months ago, and I didn't see it there. So I think if it has had a pre-inspection, then of course we'll be going back to the property developers themselves and asking them to resolve the issue, because the fact is the roads just aren't designed for the heavy goods vehicles that have been on there. Can you still hear me? And that's pretty much it from me.
Is there a weight limit on that road then?
Say again?
Sure there's no weight limit on that road then?
There should be a weight limit, yes. Now,
So why lorries using it, is there?
with regards to developers, when they put in their planning applications, what should actually happen is the highway should do a pre-inspection of the existing roads to ensure that they can actually take the weight of the vehicles that will be driving through there. Now, unfortunately, a lot of these housing applications around here all went in, funny enough, during COVID. What I'm finding repeatedly is a lot of these places weren't doing pre-inspections, so therefore there's been no allowances made for the amount of traffic that's going to be going through there. And usually if there is, then obviously there's comebacks on the actual developers themselves. But yeah, a lot of houses being built around here.
The other one comes out the top of Holborn, isn't it? And that the estate, and Holborn being corner into it.
Yeah, the bottom road that goes around there, yeah.
Does that not come out onto Ripley, onto Waverley then?
Not as far as I'm aware.
It's
No.
sort of
Yeah,
part
so
of
it's
it.
in out. Of course, they're moving heavy outputs, bricks, concrete galore. It's the same down in Coppice, down in Marlborough. Once again, developers planning permission given during COVID, and those roads are collapsing. Bridge Street is another one. Once again, yeah, a lot of these roads, unfortunately, the applications went in. How much did it? Due diligence.
very much. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt you, I was just...
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And have a nice evening. Stay safe.
Yes, you too.
Leave the chairs. We can sit with us.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Fine.
District council members. Thank you. And moving on to item 5, to approve minutes of the meeting held the 9th of February.
Move you.
Second.
All in favour? Thank you. To determine which items, if any, of the agenda should be taken with public exclusion, I don't believe there are any. Okay, thank you. Chairman's announcements. With the weather and everything, I think the roads have been rather potholy, and thank you to the colleague from the County Council for the work that's been done on Nottingham Road. Let's hope that some more of the back roads are done as well, because there's some more work to be done around there. Looking forward to the summer planting on the agenda. I think last year was very good, so looking forward to that. And just want to wish everybody for next month a happy Easter for that, because our meeting will be taking place after Easter, so I'm sure happy Easter. Okay, moving on, leaders' report.
Yes, Chairman, yeah. Members may or may not be aware that our parish warden is currently on medical recuperation after having an operation on his knee, which is just before his 20th year anniversary, which is on Saturday, working for us. I'm sure that we all want to wish him well for a speedy recovery, and I've asked Ambervalley Rural Council to try and help when they can to keep them off the place area as clean as possible, empty the liquid bins that Darryl and all empty. And also to thank the members of the public and fellow councillors who turned up again on Saturday for the monthly little bit.
On that day, do you think it would be okay for us to send a get well card to down? Is that appropriate, I think? He does an awful lot for us. He came when we had some issue during COVID all the way over. I think he walked it from Balfour to get here to help us out. So I think, I'm not surprised his knee needs repairing. But he does an awful lot for us, and I think that would be great. Thank you. Environmental matters.
Non-agenda.
Thank you. Moving on to the items for discussion on the section. Adoption of the asset register for 2026.
Can I just ask a question, Chair? I take it the buildings will be the clock tower. When was the last time we had an evaluation on that?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. Okay. And the laptops, such like, what's the depreciation policy on that?
They get depreciated by about 20% each year. For that £1,000 that's in this time, they are new equipment that we purchased in the last 12 months, so it's a full value.
Right, okay. And the play equipment?
Play equipment, that gets depreciated by 10% each year.
Okay.
And it is insured. These are the asset values. The
Yep.
play equipment is insured for full replacement.
Replacement value. Okay.
Okay, so all in favour of those? Thank you. IT policy, and to receive a report on the website email address.
Yeah, just to keep members informed that assertion 10 means that from April this year, we will need to start to comply that members will be provided with email addresses supplied by the parish council. So our Outlook email address will supply dedicated email addresses with Codnor Parish Council.co.uk. Our website will change to a gov.uk domain this year, and there will be costs to that. I anticipate the cost will be around £400 to change everything over. Our website will change to a gov.uk site. Being a small authority, although we're asked to comply by the 1st of April, the majority of parish councils will be submitting a plan to implement that in the first few months of the new financial year. And on top of that, we're required to adopt a new IT policy. As you can see, the difference really there is that they will become email addresses owned by the parish council. The parish council reserve the right to be able to access those emails if necessary to ensure that they're being used for parish council business. It's tightening it up as everything's happening in the world at the moment. So we've submitted a new IT policy drafted by Dow for you to approve, and we'll come back to the next meeting with a further report on the work that's going on to update our email, our website and the domains that we use.
I'll just point out to members as well that part of the change is to move it over onto UK-based servers because of Data Protection Act now, and the fact that you're not allowed to have any council business going over American servers. So that's the reason why everything's now on .gov.uk. So like all schools are .sch.uk, all councils will be .gov.uk.
So you're going to Chinese servers instead, I think.
No, it has to be UK-based servers from UK-based data centres only. You can't even have European ones now because it has to be UK-based. Microsoft have 2 data centres, UK East and UK West, and I know because through work we have to have our cloud services in both. One as a backup, so east or west is backup to east or west.
Just to mention, Chair, on that, just the research that we've done, the majority of small parish councils in England will be not ticking box on their audit this year. They will tick box say they've not complied with assertion 10 because of the cost to some of the smaller authorities. The auditors are backing that on the basis that we are 12 months away from a full election, and when you consider there are a lot of parish councils with budgets of £10,000–12,000, they don't want to spend £3,000 putting everything in place now, and then in May 2027 having to spend a third of the precept again putting it in place. So it is acceptable. I don't believe at Codnor we will be doing that, but there are smaller authorities that will be ticking that they've not complied. That will not invalidate your audit. All they ask for is a plan, a direction that you're showing a commitment to comply with that to the best of your ability.
Do we need to adopt? We need to adopt the policy. Okay. Can I propose that we adopt this policy? Second. Policy. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Financial regulations.
That's on by mistake, Chair. Please take that off. You approved the financial regulations at the last meeting. I think it's too soon for a review.
I was very keen and eager and prompt at the last meeting.
I blame you, Chair, because you can see the draft agenda.
I did. And I accepted that draft, and I still think I was keen and eager and enthusiastic on that one. B, government consultation on the local government reorganisation. This is the boundaries.
Yes, Chairman, yeah. Local government reorganisation in Derbyshire commenced last December. Options had to be submitted to the government by November of last year, and there were 5 options put forward. There was one put forward by the County Council, which covered the whole of Derbyshire, which doesn't meet the government criteria of maximum size of the council of 500,000 people. Complete one for Derbyshire will be over 1 million. The other 4 options, option A was for High Peak, Chesterfield, North East Derbyshire, falls over Derbyshire Dale and Amber Valley to be in the north, and Erewash, Derby City, South Derbyshire would be in the south. So that's option A. Option B was exactly the opposite, with Amber Valley going in with Erewash, Derby City, South Derbyshire, and then the other part of the north side. There was then a further option which was put forward by Derby City, splitting Amber Valley in 2. That line was not agreed by Amber Valley Borough Council was not consulted on where that line should go. But that went out to consultation for 6 weeks across the whole of Derbyshire, and that option was the worst supported one of all 3 options. So then Derby City came forward with a different option, which changed the line again. Once again, was not consulted with Amber Valley, and was not consulted on by the people of Derbyshire. So that option has been put forward as one of the options, but not consulted on whatsoever. So you have 4 options really to decide on. Say, option A is a preference for that Amber Valley Borough Council put forward. Option B was the preference that South Derbyshire put forward. Option A1, which was the first option that's been consulted on, was put forward by High Peak, North East Derbyshire and Bolsover, and then Derby City, Erewash, Chesterfield has put forward option B1, which was the unconsulted call of Amber Valley. So anybody can go on the consultation website and decide where they want to, which option they want to go for. I would like to propose that we go for option A, which I believe is the best one for Amber Valley, and that, to me that's the one should we go forward with. Thank you.
Okay. So everybody can log on personally to the consultation, but again I think it's important that we, with agreement of everybody, go for option A. I think the other options just leave us splitting up the valley in one sense and then sticking us into a group that's got, you know, one of the worst debts in councils at the moment. You know, it just seems we're going to lose out. So are we all agreed on putting forward A as our proposed? Thank you. Okay. Oh, sorry. Can I have a vote on that? Sorry. Thank you. Amber Valley Borough Council shall review the
Well, yeah, put it into context. The
local plan.
local plan eventually, Amber Valley Borough Council hasn't done one since 2006 until last Monday, when they approved the local plan. However, the government said now you approve your local plan, you need to start a new one. So this new one is this shadow review, is for the sites that developers and anybody else can put forward those sites for possible planning in the future. And no doubt in there will be a lot of all the green belt sites, as there normally is, all the other sites as well. So it's an opportunity for developers and landowners to put forward a request for them to have that review taken as part of the new local.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, what does SHALL stand for? No, it's an acronym. Obviously it's land allocation,
Yeah,
but that's local land allocation. Yeah.
I can't remember the exact
Yeah.
acronym for it.
It's one of those acronyms that you just use. Isn't it?
Yeah. Many-
Spatial housing.
Yes, spatial, I was at spatial planning.
Trying to remember myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have read it.
Never mind.
It was an interesting read.
I think we'll start a contest then for who can come up with what Shelley means for the next meeting. So, summer planting scheme.
Summer planting scheme, you have £1,000 in your budget that we spend each year on summer plantings on the marketplace and the surrounding areas and the clock tower, just really to keep you informed that will be taking place again this year. We try not to use big companies that come in and put planters all over at the cost of £5,000. We try to do it on the cheap in Codnor, I think is the word. We try to use
It's
a lot
still
of
very
last
last year's
associations and our local contractor, and we buy all the plants ourselves and then we put them in. So I'm suggesting that we do that again this year, and we get the same feedback that we had last year from the public that the planting scheme was one of the best that we'd ever had last year. And the Valley do plant up a couple of our planters for us as well, free of charge. And as I say, hopefully we'll have a bit of sun, the rain will stop, and then you'll see some colour on the marketplace again.
Move to accept that, Jim.
Well done.
All in favour?
Next one then, Chair, is correction of approved minute 110.25, 13th of October 2025. Just going to turn to it in your approved minutes. You would have approved these minutes at the next meeting as a correct record. However, it was pointed out to us by a member of the public following the discussion about the Peveril land that the report in the minutes was vague and it didn't include the fact that there had been a discussion where the clerk and the leader of the council had it's been noted that they would be undertaking discussions with Peveril Homes about that land transfer. And I think with it being a topic, it's important that I report that to you, and if you wish to amend that minute, in law you would need to pass a resolution today. It is legal for a council to correct a minute to ensure accuracy for the public record.
Okay, so motion is that we add the minute that the statements include discussions that Peveril House will be undertaken by Councillor Axrooms and the clerk. Are you in favour of that? Those against?
Abstain.
Abstention. Thank you. That would be amendment. And finance, number 11.
The payment sheet has been circulated, Chair.
Move to accept that, Chair.
Second. All in favour? Thank you. And planning and licensing.
Chairman, just one application and one decision. New application is 2026/0104, Mulberry House, Heanor Herald, for a first floor extension. That appears to be fairly minor, to be honest. There are copies on the table over there. And then the decision, which is 2026 Leicester 31, 112 Carter Gate. That was constructed a two-storey rear extension, and that permitted on the 22nd of, sorry. So anyway, 26th of February. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So the meeting, the next meeting I think is the 22nd? 20th of April. It's a later one in the month than we normally have, but it is Easter, so that's the reason why we'll be having a later one. So look forward to seeing you then. Have a nice Easter, everybody, and we shall see you at the next meeting. Thank you very much.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, London under 40.
Oh no, we planned